thanks for clicking on our faces. I'm C the Superior, and this is the Bad Guy Jack. And we are not journalists, but we are geeks, and we're here to bring you the geek news of the week. Now, we're here on a new day, a brand new day, one might say, um, because we got busy Sunday, so we're here to talk about it. We don't want to leave you guys hanging. So this is all the news that we are discussing this week for geek entertainment news. Um,
Wow.
a little aside, right? I believe today is a very special day, not only because we're here on a Monday, but because what? Great Graceland Poopa, aka Bad Guy Jack.
Today is Sonic the Hedgehog's birthday, his 34th birthday. Sonic the Hedgehog, 1991 debuted, and he had his first game and has been killing it. And in some ways, a lot of people would say he was killing a lot of other things because there was a period of time a lot of people were not a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, but I never stopped being a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. See, the
All right.
Superior knows this very much. So
Yes, I
happy
do.
birthday to Sonic the Hedgehog, the greatest video game character of all time. You could say Mario, you could say Donkey Kong, you could say Pac-Man, and I would ignore all of that
The
because one,
greatest of all time video
the
game character?
great Sonic the Hedgehog is the greatest video game character of all time, and I'm not going to apologize about any of that because honestly, if I can just pull the curtain back a little bit, once see the Superior, we had a UPR battle one time, and I should have won with Sonic the Hedgehog against Spider-Man. I lost because the judge was on some kind of chemicals, and that's okay. But honestly, Sonic the Hedgehog, greatest video game character of all times. Who do you think is the greatest video game
Well,
character of all time?
I'll
Your kid.
agree with you today, only because Sonic the Hedgehog is here on our show, friend of the show in the background. I see him back there. Thank you for being here, Sonic.
That's right. You don't even
But
see this one. This listen.
in
You see this one right here.
actuality, oh wow, I believe it's Mario. Honestly, I feel like he would probably be the best,
If it's
greatest.
a Mount Rushmore, is
Yeah,
Sonic not on the Mount Rushmore?
is he not on the mount? Okay, yeah, I feel like yes, he would be on the Mount Rushmore.
Mhm.
However, if we're doing like top right, number one is
Mhm.
Mario. Who would be on the Mount Rushmore of video game characters? We definitely
I think
Mario,
Mario,
Sonic.
Pac-Man. I do believe Sonic. The third one is up to debate because for me it's Crash Bandicoot, and I know a lot of people would not include him, but I know for you it would be Link,
Hell
correct?
yeah, Link's on there. Link's on there with the quickness. They still making Zelda games. I don't think they're making Crash Bandicoot games anymore, so I don't feel like he
Um,
should be on there.
not as much right now. I know there's this transition, and it seemed like he's going to Xbox now. Is it going to be Xbox exclusive? Which sounds scary to me because I used to play Banjo Kazooie on the N64, and when Xbox purchased Rare and everything like that, it really kind of messed up that series. So I'm a little concerned about Crash Bandicoot, but Crash Bandicoot, when I think about adventure platformers, because a lot of people, when you think about what that last slot can be, they could say Mega Man. You said Link, and I think Link does deserve to be in that conversation. And there's a
Okay.
bunch of other video game characters I'm not including, but there's a lot of names where I could see what can be a strong number four. And I'm interested in hearing what you guys think or what a strong number four could be for a video game Mount Rushmore. So I think it's
Ooh,
an
yeah.
interesting conversation.
Let us know in the comments because definitely top three. Link. I'll put Sonic. I'll
Mhm.
put Mario number one.
Mhm.
Oof.
Would you put Pac-Man on there?
I was thinking Pac-Man for a second. I was thinking Pac-Man for a hot second.
Mhm.
But again, it's the same issue with Crash Bandicoot. Are they really making new Pac-Man video games like that?
They're not, but I think Pac-Man is in such a category where he's such an icon where, yeah, they're not making those games. The last game that they made, to my knowledge, was Pac-Man World. I'm gonna say it was like 2, 3 years ago. It was a remake from a game that they made many, many years ago, and it seemed pretty fun. It's Pac-Man with actually arms and legs. If you're talking about the Pac-Man, the arcade one, I sucked at that. I'm gonna give a shout out to my grandmother. My grandmother was one of the best in that game to the point where I couldn't beat her. I still don't think I could beat her in this point. But yeah, I think Pac-Man's up there, and it's an
Is,
interesting because it's subjective.
is it too soon for a Kratos? Because I feel like those games are very popular.
They are. They are popular, but for me, I never played a God of War game. Like I
Uh-huh.
don't like if you purchase it for me and you said, "Hey, try it," I would do it, but I wouldn't use my money to buy it. Would you? I'm interested. Like,
I'm not much of a a war game player. I play
mhm,
my Nintendo games, and I love my
that's
Nintendo.
true. That's true. Listen, when we did, and maybe we'll do it again. We'll figure out a time and schedule. Maybe we can plan something. But you wanted to play Ocarina of Time. I want to say that was the one that we played.
Hell yeah.
That's the greatest Legend of Zelda game.
That's the greatest Legend of Zelda game.
But you played the one on the.
With the most banging soundtrack, I might add, right there.
They do have a really good soundtrack. But did you not play the one on the Switch?
I did. I played
Mhm.
what's it called?
Was it Breath of the Wild? Right.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild. I played Breath
Okay.
of the Wild. However, Ocarina of Time will forever hold a special place in my heart. But we're getting off topic here because we're
Yes,
here to
ma'am.
talk about the news.
But we're glad that we talked video games because it does fit the whole geek news stuff. But yeah, please tell us what you think. What your Mount Rushmore of video game characters look like, because we just love to have a conversation. But please, see the superior, take over,
Heck yeah,
please.
heck yeah. But this week, in a little bit of geek news, we do have quick asides and quick discussions on what has been, populating online. So
Hmm.
there's a little bit of confirmed news and there's a little bit of rumor news. So as far as rumor
Yes.
news is concerned, I believe Aaron Pierre
Hmm.
was kind of thrown into possible casting choices as the next James Bond, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't know what you think about it. For me, I feel like he is, young enough that they can potentially grow with him in the franchise. However, I don't know if he would be able to commit the time at this point because he's already
Oh.
signed on for Green Lanterns, and that's a TV series that's coming
Oh
to HBO,
wow. Okay.
right?
Hmm.
And you know how DC and Marvel are, they like to, expand on those worlds and potentially have crossovers between television and movies. I don't know if he would have the time to do it. And also, it was in an interview, James Gunn mentioned something about how originally Aaron Pierre was in the casting, among the casting choices for Adam Warlock in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Oh
So,
wow.
but yeah, with him being James Bond, I feel like it's interesting. He's British, so he
Right.
aligns with
He's
everything. But
British.
what are your thoughts?
He fits the topic. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that's just so funny.
He
He's
fits.
British.
Yeah, he's
um,
British. We got our bonds are usually British outside of a select few.
I'm not super familiar with his work, and I'm pretty sure I've saw it in passing, and I'm just not super strong on it. So forgive me on that. But
Mhm.
and I'm not super big on the whole James Bond series and stuff like that. I know it's been going on for years and many many years, and so many different actors have taken the role of James Bond. But if you're telling me a chance of something different, I'm for it. Like,
Mhm.
I'm totally for it. I know that some people are going to say, "Well, I like my James Bond to be this," but like for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm for the change. Like, if he can fit the role and do this thing, and he fits that, let's go. I don't see why that hurts.
I don't see why either. And he definitely fits the sex appeal. The ladies love them some Aaron Pierre Mufasa, right? That's so
Oh, he was Mufasa. Okay,
yes. That was an
okay.
Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa. That was that whole thing. That was him.
The younger Mufasa, because I wanted to say James Earl Jones played him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The younger
Okay,
and the newer,
okay,
like, Disney live action Mufasa,
okay,
Simba, Lion
okay.
King movies. Even though he very much appears more like a Scar. He looks like Scar in the face. I don't know who casted him as Mufasa. He definitely give a Scar. Um, but to bring it on to a little bit of other geek news for the week,
Mhm.
we
What
have
we
a
got?
little bit of He-Man live action.
Whoa!
Hey, here we go. The first look at Nicholas Galizan, excuse me if
You did a way better job than me, madam. Good job.
Galititsi. We drink on
Now
this show,
let's.
so excuse the any mispronunciation.
We drink
But
on
we
the
get
show.
our first look at this
Mhm.
actor as He-Man. Now,
Yes.
there's been some speculation online of if he is actually like buff enough to be the He-Man, but this is the actor. Says Master of the Universe has wrapped filming, and Nicholas shares the first official look. at his take on He-Man in Celebration. What do you guys think? So I've
Yeah.
I've seen some people say that he looks a little thin, right? He-Man is supposed to give, Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, supposed to give, buff, I eat meat carnivore diet kind of buff kind of guy. And
Mhm.
he's a
Mhm.
very in shape man, right? I don't want to take
Yeah.
anything from him beyond in shape. However, if you compare him to the cartoon, is he comparable shape wise? Like, is he buff enough to be our He Man? What do you think?
Can I put the picture up one more time? See the
Sure, go right
superior.
ahead. Uh huh.
Thank you, madam. I'm looking at this guy, and this guy looked toned as hell. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to watch language here. You're saying people are saying skinny, right? With him,
Yeah, it's just
and
maybe not as buff as our He Man from the cartoons. Like, if you, not to
Mhm.
be body shaming anyone because he's in great
Of
shape,
course,
right? Better shape than
yeah.
myself.
Mhm. Me
Um,
too,
But I
and I
could see
lift.
the argument where he maybe, as far as like, buffness wise, doesn't compare to the cartoon. However, if this
Well,
being a live action, I'm not sure how realistic they're trying to go with their live action. He'd be more in shape than 100% of people.
the people who's viewing this, honestly.
Yes,
No, I wanted to sit here, and I mean to interrupt you. I apologize, see the superior, but I just wanted to sit here and say, like, this guy looks like he's in really, really good shape. And I'm just looking at this particular picture,
I
and I'm
agree.
like, man, I'm looking at the arms and everything. Look, I get what people are talking about. They're talking about that 80s look where you have muscles in your neck and muscles in your kneecaps and all that stuff. Cool, whatever.
Right.
But I'm looking at this dude, and I'm like, yo, bro is in really, really good shape. And we're talking about 2025 compared to He-Man was like big in the 80s. I want to sit here and say that, right?
Uh huh.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at this young man, and this young man look like he's in really great shape, and I think he's gonna knock it out the park. I I'm not big on He-Man. I don't want to pretend that, but I see this, and it makes me want to know more of the lore of He-Man before watching this and everything like this. And I think this guy is gonna. I think this guy's gonna. I think he's gonna kill it. Is my
The
point.
one who I'm most interested to see the design and the actual finished look of the
Hmm.
character
Hmm.
would be my man Skeletor. I love Skeletor, like not from the cartoon, but
You
from
are
the
Skeletor,
memes.
though.
See, I
I
love
know.
Skeletor.
I know. I immediately, as soon as you was thinking, I was like, it's got to be Skeletor.
Yes, I know. But
Who's playing Skeletor? I'm sorry, Cedar Superior. Who's playing
Jared
the?
Leto has been cast
Oh,
as
I think he's
Skeletor.
gonna nail. I think that's a perfect casting, though.
Yeah, I think that Jared Leto, regardless of, talk online, no one can deny that he's a good actor, right? Sometimes he may get a little lost in, method acting, some might say.
Sure.
But I think he's a really great actor. But I would to see how they make Skeletor look in this movie. I swear to God, I cannot wait to see
Well,
what
Cedar Superior, you know they're gonna give him tattoos all over the
they
place.
better not. They better not damage the
Honestly,
process.
I'll be honest. I did not like Jared Leto as the Joker.
Uh-huh.
I was just not a fan of that. But there's something about him being Skeletor where I'm just like, yo, this kind of matches up. Like, and I
Yeah.
can't explain why. And I
Okay.
think and I think it comes from Jared Leto being kind of like out there. Like I'm
Yeah.
hoping I'm explaining this correctly, but like that's what I get out of this.
My thing is, I want our Skeletor to be full camp, right? That's what I want a campy ass
Yeah.
Skeletor. I don't want a Skeletor that takes himself too seriously.
But I
But
feel like with this movie, they're not gonna do that though.
we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see
Well,
what direction they can go.
if I can just throw out your way, would you be interested in watching this movie?
Um, yeah, I'll definitely be interested in it, not because I'm a big He-Man fan or anything, but because again, I like Skeletor from the memes. I'm a big meme Skeletor girl, right? So I would be
This is
interested
true.
to see just to see what they do with it. And it seems like, my kind of movie. I like this genre of film. I like, a good hero story.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely would go see it. If not in theaters, then at the very least, as soon as it hits streaming.
I will say this. It does make me want to check out because I know Netflix had some kind of remake or yeah, remake. I'm sorry, of He-Man and make me want to watch a little bit and see what's going on, because I would like to know the lore before watching all this stuff, and obviously
Okay.
trying to make time to watch all this stuff, because when you become an adult it's hard to make time for certain things.
Uh-huh.
But
Mhm.
yeah, it does make me intrigued by this, and I think this guy's going to do well. I looked a little bit of the cast, and I hope that they do. You said campy. I would go as far as to say 80s campy in a way, because
Yes.
so you're for
I'm
it.
for it. I'm for it. I want them to go full lean into it. There's potential here for this to
Mhm.
be epic. So we'll see what they do with it.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
speaking of epic, we have some
Yes.
Avengers news that was just
Whoa.
released last week in relation to Sam Wilson. So Sam Wilson reported Avengers lineup, right? So we have a new set of Avengers as we've discovered through
Mhm.
Thunderbolts. But
Yes.
according to online sources, we have a couple different Avengers potentially in this newer movie. So according to Insider James Mack, there will be 12 characters joining Sam Wilson's Avengers team in Doomsday. The team reportedly includes Sam Wilson, Thor, Captain Marvel, Shang-Chi, Ant-Man, Bruce Banner, She-Hulk, Shuri, and Joaquin Torres' Falcon.
Yes. Mhm.
Now, some members of the new Avengers, Yelena, Bucky, and Sentry, will also be involved in the team. Now,
Okay.
what do you think of this lineup here?
I was a little thrown off because I saw Elena on there, and I was like, "Wait, didn't wasn't she just in Thunderbolt?" So that was a little confusing to me. Um, I know some other names that wasn't included in that thing was Bruce Banner and She Hulk. What's her name? Jennifer. Excuse
Oh
me,
yeah, they
hiccup.
mentioned it. Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you did. I'm sorry. Um, like for some people who like, I'm gonna use She Hulk as an example. I like that she's involved in this because I think that she didn't have a really good. So when she did the show, a lot of people were turned off by it and all that stuff. But I think there's a lot more to She Hulk that was given in that show, and I like that there's some way in a way a redemption for her.
Okay.
What do I think about this list? I'm cool with it. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't hate it, but I'm cool with it. I don't have this like I don't know. I don't have this feeling about like, oh man, this is a terrible list of superheroes. I'm like,
Uh huh.
okay, that's cool. That's fine. The only person I'm not big on is Joaquin Torres Falcon. I'm sorry, I didn't like him in Brave
Ah,
New World. I was not a
okay.
fan of. I was not a fan of him. So if he cannot be on there, I would be okay with it.
So for me, no
Hmm.
shade to this who's this James Mack.
Hmm.
I'm feeling like I'm going to call shenanigans on some of this casting here because I, for one, I don't feel like they're going to bring back She-Hulk. I don't. I feel like this
Oh
is leaning
wow.
more into rumors.
Hmm.
I honestly feel like the only person, not the only person, but the people I feel more than likely will be in this Avengers are definitely going to be Falcon, right?
Hmm.
I feel like they may bring back Thor only to have a payoff to that dear Deadpool kind of clip where Thor was kind of crying over Deadpool's body potentially.
Hmm. Hmm.
Shang-Chi, I hope they bring him back because we haven't heard word from him since forever. Um,
It's been a
but
minute. You're right.
yeah, I'm a little skeptical with this list here. I don't know. I don't know. But
Of this list, who do you look forward to seeing?
who do I look forward to seeing?
Mhm.
I do look forward to seeing Thor again. I feel like it's been a
Mm,
while as far as seeing him with our Avengers. He is
mhm.
like, grandfathered in at this point. He's an original Avenger. He's been with, Marvel for quite some time. I
Yes,
would
ma'am.
like to see him in a movie that will kind of redeem the character a little bit because not too many people were fans of Thor Love and Thunder. And I feel like Thor has more story to tell as far as growth is concerned. Like he's been through a lot of trauma, but I don't feel like the character has grown much even through that trauma. So I would love to see his character again. But it looks like we have some comments here.
Oh, what
Hey
we got here?
TG, thanks for being here. We appreciate you joining. It says,
Hi.
sounds like a good lineup for the Avengers, definitely. And it says, not big on Ant Man. I'm not really into Ant Man, to be honest. See, yeah, I liked Ant Man the first movie. Second
Mhm.
movie, eh. I don't think I even watched the second movie. Third one was, I did see the third one in theaters and
Mhm.
wasn't too big of a fan. But I do like Ant Man when he's with
The
the
Avengers?
cast, like when he's with
Yeah.
other, like, Avengers. I feel like
Yeah.
he shines most there, as far as, that's when I find him most appealing.
I think Ant-Man, it's interesting with Ant-Man. One of the things I like about Marvel is, and I know a lot of time people kind of like shun Marvel for this and stuff, but I like that they use characters that are like someone like Ant-Man, right? I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like, man, the Ant-Man series blew everything away. But I love that they took a chance on someone like Ant-Man, because when I think about Guardians of the Galaxy, I had low expectations about it. And obviously Guardians of the Galaxy, if you ask me, um I think they fit in that conversation of a series that had a really good trilogy.
Mhm.
My point in what I'm saying all this is trying to say is like, I like that Marvel take chance. Someone like She-Hulk, I know, like we did a cheap plug. We did a review on the show, and I know
Yeah.
like you and I'm not sure about Vic, but like I felt like a lot of people wasn't big on it, but like. Right, there were things that could have made that show better, and I agree. But I love that they looked at the character and they were like, hey, let's just throw this character out there and see what happens.
Mhm.
I mean, I think about with DC, and this is not even a knock on DC, but I remember once upon a time, and I would actually want to see the Superior. Before the DCU, what were the only movies that DC was doing?
Batman and Superman.
That's right. I love
Mostly
that
Batman.
Batman and Superman. That was it. Was like a safe space. But I
Justice
love
League.
and this was before Justice League, absolutely.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying, I love that Marvel take a chance, and sometimes it's a hit or miss. I mean, if I could do a cheap plug real quick here, we're going to be reviewing Ironheart, and
Yep.
I think a lot of people viewed her as the weakest point of what was the sequel to Wakanda? Black
Wakanda
Panther.
Forever.
Thank you. And a lot of people were against her, but like I'm like, yo, I'm rooting for her, and I hope that I'm sorry, this show does well, and I look forward to reviewing the show with you and one vibrating Vic. So
Mhm.
like I'm just saying, one of the things I love about Marvel is that they take a chance, and sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a win, sometimes it's a loss. And this cast, um I don't know. I'm a Marvel guy, so I'm always gonna be like, hey, I'm for it. Is my point.
All right. All right. Let's get to this comment here from TG. It says,
Please.
we need Ironheart in the Avengers lineup rather than Ant-Man. Oh, very interesting. The funny thing is, the Ironheart series is was shot forever ago, so who knows how everyone's aged by the time we see them in
But you know what? I think
Doomsday.
Doomsday. I feel like it's gonna be a two-part thing. I do think we do get her at some point, though. I do think so.
All right, we'll find out. But that leads us into our next bit of geek news, which is our main kind of like headliner tonight. And it's in relation to Spider Man 4, Brand New Day. So, just
Oh,
a few days ago, it was released that John Berthel will be joining the cast of Spider Man 4, Brand New Day.
yeah.
So here we got a little snippet. It says the creative challenges of Spider-Man: Brand New Day extend beyond the Punisher and Spider-Man's opposing moral codes. Bertholt's Punisher is synonymous with TVMA content, where his brutal methodologies are depicted with uninflicting graphic detail suitable for mature audiences. Okay, so this is some of the problems they would have if and when he's in Spider-Man Brand New Day, right? Because he's a violent character. There's a lot of blood involved with the Punisher. There's a lot of death involved with the Punisher, and how would that
There's a lot
translate
of
with
death.
our baby Peter Parker? Even though he's he's a grown, almost a grown man now. Um, would it fit? Do you feel that they would make this Spider-Man 4 a rated R film? And also, where do you feel that the Punisher would land in this movie, like as far as in the timeline? Like what's going on? Because he's supposed to have a special coming out, right?
Mhm. Right.
We have Daredevil season 2, Daredevil Born Again season 2 dropping next year as
Next.
well. I wanna say Daredevil's, Born Again comes out March of next year for season 2.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, and, according to, like, online sources, the Punisher special and the Daredevil season 2 are supposed to come out around the same time, right?
Okay.
And our 4th Spider-Man movie is reported to come out in July of 2026. So there'll be a little bit of a gap, but I wonder, how do you feel that they're gonna make these 2 characters mesh tonally wise?
I'm interested in seeing how they're going to make this work because Spider-Man, especially in the MCU, if I could just talk particularly in the MCU, he makes pop culture reference and stuff, and that's stuff that I try to carry on every day in my life. When I talk about Sabrina Carpet, um, like it's going to be interesting to see how this all works out and everything. Um, but I love this. I don't know. I love this. I mean, Spider-Man, and something I had to be reminded of personally for myself is like Spider-Man, he's a street level superhero. He's on the same grounds of Daredevil, Punisher, and I'm interested in seeing how this works out. And I love that they had. I'm sorry, what's the actor's name here? I
John
want to make sure.
Berthel.
He's such a great Punisher.
DMV native, I might add, DMV native.
I do want to throw out here, if I can throw out wrestling related, he is like the great nephew of Kurt Angle. I think that's great. I don't know if you even know have any. So C's face
Oh,
just like,
wow!
yeah, okay. do you know? Do you even know who Kurt Angle is?
I have no idea who that is. No,
I,
no, no
I
disrespect to him, but
no,
I'm not gonna say
I know it wasn't. I loved all of that because you was like, oh wow. I was like, but no, but no, he's a great actor. He's great at playing the Punisher. There's nobody else I can see playing the Punisher. And how do I see? But I'm wondering how this works out here because did you hear also too a while back they said the Incredible Hulk is supposed to be in this movie too.
Yeah, smart
So
Hulk,
I'm interested.
potentially. I don't know how it's gonna be,
Hmm.
because for me, I'm more connected
Hmm.
to and this might be controversial. This might
Sure.
be controversial,
I don't think it is, but go ahead.
but I'm more connected to John Berthol's Punisher than I am Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Um,
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
yeah,
That's an interesting conversation. Please hit the
hot
floor.
take. But yeah, I feel like John Berthol embodies the character,
Hmm.
very, in a spectacular way. And with him being in this film, it makes me wonder, are they going for a more grounded Spider-Man, given that we've had such big magical characters before with, with our Doctor Stranges in the last movie, and like, these big, world altering events that Spider-Man has, gone against in the MCU. It makes me wonder, with the addition of the Punisher, will this be a more grounded Spider-Man? I hope
Sure.
so. I hope so.
I don't think it's going to be grounded at all. I
You
mean, when you
don't?
have Hulk and Punisher in there, like if you're saying grounded meaning not time traveling and all that stuff, sure.
Now, is it gonna be Hulk or is it gonna be Bruce Banner?
I think we're getting Hulk.
Ah, okay.
I think we're getting Hulk
Okay, okay,
personally.
okay. All right.
And in the chat, please tell us what you think is going to show up because I feel like um, can you highlight T? Because I know we have some kind of comment.
TG's, let's see here.
It is TG. Please, what do you
I said
say?
I like seeing the Punisher in the Spider-Man movie, and hopefully we will see the team see them team up to take down Kingpin in the future. That's my question. Do you think Kingpin will be I
I
thought
love
about
that.
this, right?
I love that.
TG. I don't know if Kingpin's going to be in it. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that actor kind of
I,
shut
I
it
don't
down,
think.
but you can never say for sure, because they try to say
Mhm.
no, but then they turn up. But would him being in
Mhm.
Spider-Man lessen his potential to be in further Daredevil seasons?
I
Unless,
don't. Mhm. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Please. No. I'm so sorry. Please take the floor, madam.
Because I'm not sure if Daredevil has been greenlit for more than 2 seasons. I
Hmm.
do know the second season is coming up, right? So if our Punisher's going to be our main bad guy in Daredevil seasons, for the foreseeable future, would having him as the bad guy in Spider-Man kind of, take him out as our bad guy in Daredevil?
I mean, I'm trying to take the words of the actor, and right, I hear what you're saying about like, hey, maybe they're just saying this stuff and just making stuff up and blah blah blah. But like, I don't know, man. I don't think we're gonna see Kingpin on this movie, but I do think that when Kingpin said, and cheap plug again, we did a review on Daredevil. I forget what episode it was, but he was talking about vigilantes
Yeah.
wearing a skull on their chest and a spider.
Uh-huh.
Um, Vanessa. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. I don't think we see him, but it does make it interesting about will we see some kind of team up against. And I almost feel like that's so like, especially the MCU Spider Man. So work with me here, guys. It just seems so like beneath this Spider Man who fought aliens.
Ah,
you
see?
know,
Okay, okay.
that's all I'm thinking about. Like if you're talking about comic book wise and stuff, and I don't know the comic books as strong as a lot of people who study comic books, and shout out to you guys. But I'm just saying, like, man, this guy, right? Like he fought aliens. What is a
Mhm,
kingpin to him?
mhm. That's
That's
yeah,
all I'm trying to get at.
that's
That's
valid.
all.
Very
But
valid.
but yeah, I do like, and I'm interested in seeing what a street level Spider-Man look like. I feel like that was probably the route we should have done before.
Mm.
I'm not gonna
Mhm.
argue about him being in Civil War because like Civil War is it's one of my favorite
Yeah,
MCU
that was his
movies.
introduction in the MCU.
Yeah, 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 totally. So, I guess what I'm just saying is like, what is a kingpin to him? Because like he could probably just see him to the sun. Is my point. That's all.
Mhm. What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer? Don't believe it. But that's our show. Let's get into this one. Let's comment for 2G.
Please, let's do it.
It says, I remember in the first Spider-Man game on the PS4 that Spider-Man took on Kingpin, so maybe it can happen. Oh, if they take a little bit of inspiration from the game, potentially,
That
potentially.
was that was that was honestly dope. I played both Spider-Man games on the PlayStation. I was gonna say two, so forgive me. But on the PlayStation, and they were great. And that was the first battle, and you fought Kingpin. And Kingpin is no joke, honestly. Like he's not. He doesn't have like this superpower or anything like that. But let's put it this way: if we were walking, we would cross the street
Yeah.
seeing Kingpin because
Mhm,
he's no one to joke with and play with. He doesn't have alien and all that stuff, but like he will beat people up in the street and stuff like
mhm.
that. So, do I think that's going to be a thing almost like from the game? I don't see it, but you know what? Look, when the movie comes out, we will see it and we will review it.
And we will be discussing it exactly. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Normally, this show is on Sundays. We try to bring it to you on Sunday. So, please join us next Sunday for more geek news. And we talk about, a little bit of the headlines for that week in relation to geek news. But also, this coming week, I want to say, was it tomorrow?
Mhm.
Ironheart is coming out. So they are
Yes.
dropping Ironheart in a particular schedule. They're dropping the first three episodes one week and the next three episodes the following week. So they're dropping
3 episodes.
three episodes. So
Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm saying this for myself. I can barely stay up after like 12. But if we do this, we're doing 2 episodes because it's like I'm trying to catch up on some sleep. I see TG. He says stay safe. You too. I'm sorry. This water is aggressive, but he says stay safe. You too. Thank you. And he also says I have to get the game with Venom. Venom has been kicking my tush because I'm not going to curse here, but he's been kicking my tush. But get that game. Let me know what you think about that, TG. I'm glad that you are here. I'm glad that See the Superior is here. See the Superior, he says also too, I have my eyes on Ironheart. I'm looking for. I think Ironheart is going to be a fun show. I honestly do. I think it's fun.
join us here. I'm assuming we're doing this Wednesday night given the drop because it's so many episodes as opposed to Tuesday night.
3 episodes. Disney, what are you doing to us?
Join us this in the next couple days. I'll post something on my channel to let you know what exactly we'll be discussing and
I'll
when.
post some. I'll post some too. It's me with Z's.
All right.
But we're here.
So
But we're here. We're here for it though. Please see.
Please subscribe to my channel, See the Superior and Unpopular Review Entertainment.
Thank
And
you.
we will see you guys in the next couple days. Goodbye. See ya. Have a good night.
Thank you for joining us, guys.